Hi, Misha here, and it's been a couple of weeks since I've done a Blackbox, but to be fair, you did get several over the holidays. And this is one of the few rare ones I'm doing indoors. Uh, it's because it's about 8 degrees outside. Also, I didn't shower that long ago, so yeah, going outside with slightly wet hair when it's 8 degrees, I guess it would dry quite quickly. No, I figured I'd stay in. Been working hard today, getting orders out, what have you. And over on the main Mishaco channel, it turns out my timing was quite good. I've been trying to think of new video topics, and of course, SHOT Show was this week for those in the gun world. Not a whole lot there shown off that excites me, but there were 2 or 3 things. At least so far. I'm recording this on a Thursday night late, Friday morning early. And it'll be a couple of weeks or a couple of months or even longer before I actually get hands on that stuff. So, video topics for the spring and summer and maybe fall. But kind of gone through a lot of my old guns, and I don't have a lot of new ones. Finished up several projects and haven't really been able to get out shooting. J-Ro ended up catching the COVID. He's doing much better, except his sense of smell and taste is a little off. Mostly smell, I think, but he's fine. And more than that, the flu and cold have been going around here amongst all my friends, including a nasty stomach bug that has you kind of both ends, for about 48 hours. So with all those little critters going around, I'm not really wanting to make new friends. So my wife and I have mostly just been keeping to ourselves till they run their course. That's alright. It's also been very cold. Quite a bit of rain. Had a little snow last weekend. Not what I would consider the best weather to go shooting. It'll keep. But anyway, yeah, so without a whole lot of new stuff and just kind of feeling tired and having a lot of other things on my mind right now, nothing bad, just, things I like to do, including personal projects, like I built a new shelf for my tanks, things like that. I posted a video on the Mishaco channel saying top 10 clone correct rifles that I own. And the idea for the video, at least top 5, came from a user, Brian Hess, and thought it was a good one, and it seemed like a good video to kind of combine with a 2022 Mishaco channel update. And so I talked about taking a little vacation from making main channel videos for a bit. Back when Jay was doing the channel with me, we would take vacations every 2 to 3 months, usually per his request. But since it's just been me, really since last March, 11 months, give or take, I've been making videos and doing videos 2 to 4 a week. And that's just the main channel. Plus videos for this channel, which I'm not as religious about, to be fair. I just, do these when I feel like it because they're kind of my stress relievers. But as I said, okay, it's time. I figured that'd give time for the new guns to come in, some old guns to come out, maybe do some personal projects. And we want to start working on the new shooting area at the cabin out in the mountains. And I started working on getting construction material, a bit of roofing, all that. So yeah, take a couple of weeks off, revisit in February. So yeah, the timing seemed like a good thing. And then today, about 3 o'clock, I had a call from my local friendly neighborhood ATF agent. He said he would be coming by to do an audit and an inspection. Now, that's not a negative. That's not like, oh, you did something wrong, we're auditing you. It's something that they do every 1 to 3 years. I mean, some people get away with it, not, more. The last time he was here was October 2019. So, 2.5 years ago. With COVID, you can understand why. But with all the gun sales over the last 2 years, I'm sure that's a lot to do with it as well. So he will be coming by, and that means for the next few days, that's my life. Getting all the inventory guns pulled out, making sure everything is where it needs to be, making it easy, because what he has to do is, for one thing, he'll look at 4473s. That's the paperwork you fill out when you buy a gun. You answer those questions, and you sign your name, and then if you do not have a concealed carry license or equivalent, then that's when they call in the NICS check to the FBI, the federal government. And if you do have a concealed carry license, then you present your license and it's verified, and then you can go. The reason they don't need a NICS check with a carry license is to get a carry license, there's a much higher threshold. So if someone is legally allowed to carry a concealed firearm, they're going to pass a NICS check, no problem. Because if they couldn't pass a NICS check, their carry license would have already been revoked. Anywho, that's that paperwork. That's easy for me because I don't do 4473s except for family and a few friends, close friends. So there's only a dozen, maybe 20 at most, he'll need to look at. And he just needs to see the last year, so no biggie. The next thing he will look at, well, not look, but he'll ask me to copy over my bound book onto a thumb drive. Why not print it out? Because if you printed out a bound book, it would take reams and reams of paper. Back in the old days, you did your bound book on paper, and you'd have volumes of it. But of course, now it's all computerized, and it's all electronic. Used to, they made you print it out and keep a hard copy back up. But I think around 2009, could be wrong on that, they decided just electronic record keeping was fair enough. So make a copy, put it on a thumb drive for him. That way they can inspect it at their leisure and call me if they have any questions. So that's all the guns that have been disposed, either 4473 or to fellow FFL dealers. The big one for me is looking at my inventory. He has to physically put hands on every gun that's here. So, for example, I print out the inventory, and I do have to print that out from the computer. And then he will go down the list, check, and then look for that gun. Okay, that's here. Okay, where the hell's this? Oh, you screwed up here. You put the wrong serial. Oops. And I already did tell him that. I said, yeah, everything's here. Because he said, hopefully we won't have to, but I'll have to bring the paperwork for violations if we find any violations. Because, there's infractions, there's violations. That's more like willful. And I said, well, I can tell you right ahead, I have made mistakes. Like I meant to hit a 0 key and I hit a 9, or I put the wrong name in, or, fudge the date, at the beginning of every new year. You go to type 2022, for example, and you put 21 out of habit. And he goes, oh, that's all right. He goes, we're all human, including over here at the ATF. And I thought I'd press my luck a little bit and said, no, you're not. And he said, what? And I go, haven't you read on the internet, read online? All you ATF agents are secret lizard people or robots in league with, whatever. And he kind of paused and laughed. So we had a good laugh about that, I just, trying to break the ice. And it was good. I mean, again, he's the guy, he was here 3 years ago, 2.5 years ago. So, yeah, it's, just one of those things. So that will be my life, meaning my time for videos or what have you will be limited. Also, while they're doing an inspection, I can't, log in or log out guns because everything's basically frozen. Again, this is standard. Most dealers go through it, several times a decade. But, oh well. Frankly, I got to thinking, nobody say, oh God, why now? But truthfully, it's about as good a time as any. I mean, it's January. It's as slow as life gets. The holidays are over. People aren't buying at a huge panic. Yeah, I mean, it has to be done, so yeah, best be done now, right? But I am glad I already had announced the break over on the Mishaco channel. So, yeah, good little coincidence there. So with that, if I'm a little slow to reply to emails or don't post as many videos for the next week or two, that is why, but all is well. What else? Good news for people who like planes. I finally got an invoice from Pete's Collectibles with several Hobby Masters and a few Corgis that I'd ordered. So I will be having, 4 or 5 new planes to do videos on next month. I've done a couple of Star Trek videos, mostly because I felt like it. And we'll be doing some new one of those. Eagle Moss has on their website that they've suspended shipping between January 5th and January 25th for inventory. So hopefully some of my back orders, like the Blood and Chrome Galactica, will finally fucking ship, because I really want that to complete my Battle Star set. I always hate that when you're waiting on one more just to complete it, you know? But when they get here, I will do videos. In the middle of finishing up the British tanks, and then going to start on the Japanese tanks, as I talked about in the last Black Box. From there, I don't know. We'll see. I do have some ideas for actual topics for these Black Boxes. I know lately they've mostly just been updates about my life and events and whatnot. But when I originally started these, they were topics, conversant things. And I'd like to get back to that. The only problem is, it is the internet. So no, if you pick a topic that's interesting, no matter which side you kind of come down on, even if you try to be objective, you will piss people off. I mean, look at the whole flat earth stuff. I mean, I don't know how you would have something more cut and dry than the earth is round. So if people will literally not just argue over that, sometimes it is kind of fun to argue just for the sake of arguing, but if they will get upset over that, yeah, they'll get upset over anything. So maybe subconsciously I've been shying away from topic videos because of that, but you know what, no more. It is what it is, and this is my personal channel, and I feel like I should be free to express my opinion. And if you disagree, that's fine. Sometimes I disagree with myself. Like in the future, 2 years later, I may have a totally different opinion about something. So sometimes I agree with past younger me, one way or the other. Kind of how it goes. It's okay to change one's position as new information, new data is encountered. So here are a few topics I've been bandying about in my head. I thought it might be interesting to kind of look at the red pill people, the MGTOW, the Manosphere group, movement, what have you. It is very interesting, and yeah, I don't know, it seems like a good black box topic. And I figured might as well talk about flat earth again. That's always fun. Yeah. And for some reason, the Tatar mud flood video I did years ago got a lot of traction. And I would actually enjoy revisiting that, because that's another thing that's rather interesting to me. And just generally the notion of conspiracies and secret truths and secret societies is very fascinating. We've seen a lot of that lately, and a lot of people not vetting their news sources, or not looking into the people that they get information from, but only when that information supports a preconceived notion. If that information contradicts their preconceived notion, then it's automatically dismissed, labeled as fake news, labeled as what have you. And to be fair, sometimes information really is propaganda. So I have nothing against being skeptical when someone tells you something. I don't care if they've got PhD or MD by their name or whatever. it's not bad to be skeptical. But I think you need to apply that same level of skepticism, that same kind of threshold, to everything. If you're going to apply it, you need to apply it on both sides of a topic. And I think that might be a fun video. I did one years ago about methods and research methodology and to some extent the scientific process. And that should be something that's apolitical, even non-topical, because it's more of a way of thinking objectively and honestly effectively too, because knowing the truth, being able to suss out bullshit, that's good for conservatives and liberals and libertarians, anyone. I mean, no one should be lied to and believe a lie. It's just, yeah, I don't care where you're at. So I thought that'd be a kind of an interesting topic. I will say this, if anyone has any interesting topics you'd like to throw out there, lay them on me, because I like to do some more black boxes throughout the year and have some more fun topics. And to have a spirited debate in the comments would be great, as long as everyone's cool with each other. I absolutely don't mind someone disagreeing with me. In fact, I think it's kind of healthy. But, you know, name calling and all that can get absurd. But at the same time, I'm a pretty thick-skinned person. Or just stubborn, whichever way you want to look at it. So, yeah, that's what's been going on with myself in January. And can't complain. Hopefully, I still can say that a week from now. Things have been okay so far. Bought a few things from SHOT Show. And again, have a few more new models coming in. No new cats, though. We're at maximum cat threshold here. And with that, I think I'm going to turn in. Wish me luck with the ATF and the inspection. Again, I know that they'll find mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. I just hope nothing too serious, nothing that will have consequences. I mean, typically the worst, you may, if it's really bad, you have to go before a judge, and there may be a fine. I mean, the only time you can really get into trouble is if you're selling guns illegally, without the proper paperwork, or you're selling guns that are illegal, unregistered SBRs, unregistered machine guns, homemade guns without serials, things like that. So as long as you're not doing what is breaking the law, typically it's slap on the wrist and oh, you shouldn't be doing that, do this again type thing, and we'll have a problem. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to be prepping for over this here weekend and dealing with. I'll let you know how it all goes. You'll probably be able to tell by the next Blackbox. Hope everyone is enjoying 2022 and staying safe and healthy. We're all fine here. Again, being a little reasonable. My sister has the COVID again, but she's fine. She's a nurse, so unfortunately it's just a hazard of the occupation. But yeah, she's feeling fine. I think she may even be asymptomatic this time. First time she had it, she felt like crap. But that is that. Alrighty, guys. Well, feel free to comment. Let me know what you're up to. And with that, this is Misha, and I'll catch back up with you all very soon next time.